The capping of that gushing well at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico is hands down the biggest story in the country tonight. But the biggest political story in the country tonight is Wall Street reform finally passing the U.S. Senate. Reform is now on its way to President Obama's desk, where it will be signed into law sometime next week. All but 3 Republicans in the Senate voted against it. Surveying that political landscape today, this was the takeaway from the top Republican in the Senate, Mitch McConnell.
We broke out of the Washington echo chamber and fought the government-driven solutions the Democrats were proposing. In short, you might say we got our groove back.
Disturbing as it is to imagine Mitch McConnell grooving in any way, consider what he sees as his party's groove. 2 years after the worst economic meltdown since the Great Depression, thanks to Wall Street, the Republicans have decided that we shouldn't reform Wall Street, that everything's fine as it is. It's in the Senate where Republicans just voted against Wall Street reform, but in the House, incredibly, they have announced that they want to repeal it.
I think the financial reform bill is ill-conceived. I think it ought to be repealed.
Repeal it, because things were awesome before. The rest of the Republican groove right now is as amazing as their stance on Wall Street. Their Bring Back Bush tax agenda slated to add $3.5 trillion to the deficit. And they are still opposing unemployment benefits, which continue to be stalled in the Senate. So to be clear, that's the Republican groove that they feel like they've just gotten back. Don't reform Wall Street, add $3.5 trillion to the deficit, and eat the poor. Groovy, man. Can't wait till November.